And we're back at it on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting your day here on the NCW Life Channel. It's right smack dab in the middle of the week and almost right smack dab in the middle of the month. And by the time we get to the end of this week and the early part of next week, spring will be busting out all over just in time for the vernal equinox, which I believe is next Tuesday. It's looking good. We're going to have a lot of sunshine and very warm temperatures. In fact, they bumped up the forecast afternoon high a few degrees from the time we talked yesterday. 70s now. By the time we get to the weekend, it looks like it might stick around for a little while. We earn our springs and summers around here because we have to slog our way through wintertime, but we just hang in there. We get through the low clouds and the fog and the inversion and the snow and the short days and long nights, and then we get to the payoff for this time of the year. A forecast you're going to like is coming up. News, yep, that's what we do around here. Sports. If you're a fan of Gonzaga basketball, men or women, or the Seattle Kraken, you did not have a very good Tuesday night. They all lost. Highlights, if you will, plus prep sports scores from last night as well. Speaking of sports, it's Wednesday, and the Wenatchee Wild have home games this weekend. In fact, it's the last two home games of the year. They only have 6 games left. They have 2 games this weekend. They have Spokane Friday, Portland on Saturday, and then their last 4 games are on the road. They're trying to hang on to that 4th position in the Western Conference, which would give them home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. That's the goal. Austin Drade will be my guest in the back half of the program, and the usual shenanigans apply. 2 minutes after the hour, we should have some spectacular shots this morning with sunrise just getting ready to get going here on this Wednesday from our Heights camera. Yesterday's high was 55. So we overshot our high by a couple of degrees, and we may do that again today. I think we could be at 55 or 56 today. It felt warmer than that at times yesterday until the wind picked up in the afternoon. Then didn't feel so warm. Sunrise this morning, 7:16, so about 10 minutes away. Sunset tonight, 7:04. That's 11 hours and 48 minutes of daylight. St. Patrick's Day this Sunday, the 17th, will be the first day of the year. We'll be over the 12-hour mark of daylight. Let's go up and check in with Lake Chelan. It looks something like that. It's full of water, I'm told. That's from our lower Butte camera, looking directly across to the south shore of Lake Chelan. You can see the park there. Of course, the bathtub is down. They don't fill it up for quite some time. Usually it's, I think, in May, April, May, something like that is when they start filling up the bathtub. Good morning to Lake Chelan from our lower Butte camera. Good morning to Cashmere from our Hay Canyon camera. Look at that gorgeous view. Just a couple of high wispy clouds, and that's about it from Hay Canyon. Good morning to Cashmere. A lot of people from Cashmere. A lot of people live in Cashmere but actually work here in the Wenatchee Valley. Good to see you, Cashmere. And Badger Mountain. Dun, da, da, da. Look at that. That is just cool. I love how you can see exactly the snow line there. The foothills of the Wenatchee Valley, the mighty Columbia looking good, full of water. Is just like Lake Chelan. The Columbia River also contains a great deal of water, I'm told. We can see the Horan Natural Area. You can see where the Wenatchee empties into the Columbia, and a good swath of Sleepy Hollow and all the way up to the Monitor area almost from that view. And the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. You see it down there in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Wave to them. Wave to Jeremy. He's not there yet. Good views there. No slides to show for you. There's nothing to talk about except this. Da, 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 da. I like being the good guy. Sunshine today. Today is going to be the transition. High pressure is going to build up as the day progresses. They say 52. Since we hit 55 yesterday, I'm thinking maybe we could do a little better than that. Then the high pressure will be well entrenched by tomorrow. And that means a nice, long, extended period of very warm and very dry weather, well above normal temperatures. Our normal high is 51 this time of the year. We'll be above it today. We'll be well above it Thursday. We'll be zipping way past it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Look at that. Tuesday, the vernal equinox, first day of spring. Sunshine, 72. And they say this could stick around for maybe a little while longer. Apparently, this ridge of high pressure is very strong for this time of the year. High pressure is good when you have clear skies because then you get sunshine. We get high pressure in the dead of winter, but if you get high pressure that builds up with clouds and fog, you get the exact opposite. I like that forecast. Now I've got to find my shorts and my golf clubs. 5 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll do the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right, all year round. Right now, bring home select VX and L Series tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months. Contact your Kubota dealer for details.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Welcome to the newest and funnest fashion boutique on Wooden, featuring mountain chic clothing and men's footwear from UGG, Brixton, Sorel, and Free People. Walk on into the Tiffany Blue Building on the second block of Wooden and check it out.
It is nearly impossible to describe what you'll find in Lush Life. It's an eclectic collection of items from around the world. See it for yourself at the corner of Wooden and Emerson.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
Just a gorgeous morning, 37 degrees, mid-50s today. Warmer still Thursday, into the 60s by the weekend, into the 70s by the weekend for that matter. I like that forecast, and I think you do too. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Our respected local avalanche forecaster died last week in a rock climbing accident. Mike Primomo was found dead from a fall on Thursday at Icicle Buttress. That's a rock feature on Icicle Road, 6 miles outside of Leavenworth. Chelan County Coroner Wayne Harris said there were no witnesses to the accident. Primomo was a skilled climber and outdoors expert who worked for the Northwest Avalanche Center, analyzing snowfall patterns and producing daily reports on the likelihood of avalanches in the Cascades backcountry. Those reports are frequently consulted for safety planning by winter sports enthusiasts. Primomo was 40 years old. A GoFundMe account has been started to support his widow and their young child. As we told you last week, 7th District State Representative Joel Kuntz announced he is not going to be running for re-election this fall. The 7th District is a big one. It's the largest, geographically speaking, district in the state. It's got Okanagan County, most of Douglas County, and a chunk of Grant County as well. The first announced candidate to run for Kuntz's House seat is Andrew Engel. He's the Deputy District Director for Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers. Engel is a Republican who worked in the congressional office since 2016, and like Joel Kuntz, Kathy McMorris Rogers announced last month that she will not be running for a new term. The 7th District's other representative in Olympia, Republican Jacqueline Maycumber, has announced that she is going to run for the congressional seat held by Kathy McMorris Rogers. Construction that will begin the first day of next month means they've had to make a couple of adjustments for the Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade, specifically the start of the Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade and the pancake breakfast. The area that you see there, the prime seating area, is not going to be available this year outside of Rec Park because, well, they're going to be doing construction. And the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast is going to be relocated to the concession stand at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. The Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade on May 4th will still begin about where it normally does. Its route will not change, but the staging area is going to move. And as we already said, the pancake breakfast will be moved from Triangle Park to the concession stands at the Apple Bowl. The Community for the Advancement of Family Education, or CAFE, as it's more well known, is they want to make a community center Now, the soon-to-be vacant YMCA building on Arrondo Street. Right now, of course, that's just a vision. The nonprofit needs a bigger headquarters first. Cafe is currently in the middle of a capital campaign. They want to raise money and they want to move into the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council's building on Lewis Street. Both the Wenatchee YMCA and the Community Action Council are going to move into new locations of their own in the not-too-distant future. Cafe is seeking opportunities to expand. Our cameras had a chance to sit down with Cafe founder Alma Chacon and the new executive director, Tona Chacon, to talk about their plans.
I know that one of the main things that we want to do is just really work on establishing all of our current programs and then continuing to grow with those programs. We are working on opening another location in Yakima, and so that's going to be kind of like a remote base so that we can support people in that area as well. And so I know that it's going to take some time, but we're excited to continue to grow and just to be that resource hub. As also our grant writer, she's been working on raising money for our capital campaign so that we are able to move into a much larger office. As you can see, we're pretty close already. It feels like a little family in here, but I'm sure having a little bit more space would be nice for all of our staff.
Another goal is we're looking at the Community Action Council building to move our current staff over there right now because we do need more space right now. One of the things we haven't had since we've grown in staff is a place to bring community in other than outside in our parking lot, which we can do on sunny days, but not always. And so we're really looking forward to a larger building. That is almost a for sure thing. We've got applications out. We've got about a third of the money down through our capital campaign. We've also got other things going, but I think that in working with the Community Action Council, I think they're pretty flexible as to when we can move in. And of course, they're still working on moving into their facility. So we have a few months to get ready. We haven't quite nailed it down. It could look very different than where we are right now. But at least to get us going in a head start, then we figure that Cafe will take initiative with a community center at the YMCA. We want to strengthen what we have. And then we have some programs that are fairly new, like we're starting the YES program, the Youth Empowerment Services and Support program. So we are looking at working with our partners to pretty much purchase or in partnership to acquire a larger building. So right now we're looking at the YMCA where we can partner with many of our current partners and then also bring in new partners. So it'll be a collaborative approach, which is what's needed for a community center.
It's already made for a great community center anyways. We will have kind of like maybe 1 or 2 office spaces just for Cafe, but then offer different office spaces for other local organizations so that they can also be right in the middle of everything, especially when it's youth focused or any kind of support that's needed for a community. So it'll open it up to just have like a lot of different opportunities for the people that go there.
The Colville Confederated Tribes have been heavily affected by wildfires over the past decade, including the big 2021 blaze. You might remember that damaged the town of Nespelem. Since 2015, the 1.4 million acre reservation has seen more than 700,000 acres burn, and they lost approximately $500 million in commercial timber. The tribe's executive director, Cody DeSutels, testified in Washington yesterday in a Senate Natural Resources Committee hearing. DeSutels serves on the Federal Wildland Fire Mitigation and Management Commission that was created by President Biden to recommend improvements in the handling of wildfire. The panel submitted its final report to Congress, by the way, last fall.
Talk a little bit about the unique expertise and capabilities that tribes and states bring to the table when it comes to prevention, response, and then, recovery.
So I think when you look at partners, a lot of times they have strengths that the federal government doesn't have, or we have flexibilities that they don't. So we serve as a testing ground for approaches that aren't typically seen on federal land. So if we can really look across landscapes, across boundaries to apply what really pre-fire treatment should look like to create resiliency on the landscape. That's best handled through a very collaborative approach with lots of perspectives in the room where there's been successes and failures that we can learn from as a group collectively.
And the Community Foundation of North Central Washington has awarded a lot of money to our friends up north, $110,000 in grant funds, as a matter of fact, to 20 local nonprofits in the Methow Valley. The Community Foundation operates the Methow Valley Fund that was established in 2006 to fund nonprofit projects in that area. The 20 grant recipients received award amounts of either $4,000 or $9,000. Among the organizations, Getting Dough, Cascadia Music, Aero Methow Rescue Service, and the Methow Art Alliance. The Methow Valley Fund is offered annually, and the next go-around for those people to apply for grants will come in December. And that's the news on this Wednesday morning. If you're interested in what the heck is going on, we try to fill the bill by telling you what the heck is going on with our evening news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on TV. As we mentioned before, if you don't have cable or whatever, if you just watch your television on the World Wide Web, we got you covered there too. Our newscast will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, right around 5 o'clock. Also on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and on our app. And you can get the app by picking up your phone and doing that right there. Well, you have to use the camera on your phone. If you just hold your phone up to that QR code, ain't going to do it. And if anything out there is newsworthy, we want to hear from you. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. All right. Kraken. Oh. Gonzaga women. Oh. Gonzaga men. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Just about 19 minutes after the hour, the Kraken's hopes of making the Stanley Cup playoffs took a big hit last night. Vegas rallies from a 4-2 deficit in the third period, and they pulled out a stunning 5-4 victory in overtime at Climate Pledge Arena.
He'll dangle. Andre Burakovsky creates space beautifully. McCann right in. Burakovsky scores! That's hockey, baby! What a play! 15:46 left to go in the second period. Burakovsky has broken the ice.
Tired players out on the ice. Great opportunity for McCann right in the high slot. Doesn't connect perfectly on it, but you continue. You win the battle right out in front. Again, possess the puck. Take your time. Find the right read. You end up beating one. Give and go. Right here to an empty 4x6. Great play. Burakovsky, individual effort. And how about McCann as well? Right there behind the back. No look.
Cross ice, good play by Larson. Marchessault back again, Theodore. This is Eichel. He'll delay to the goal line. Barbashev across off the crossbar and underneath it for a goal. Jonathan Marchessault maybe hit the back bar. We'll see. The referee was in a great spot. He indicated goal right away. Power play strike. Vegas has tied it. William Karlsson, Pavel Dorofeev, who shoots it right in off the draw. Dorofeev, who scored Saturday night with a bullet right off the faceoff at the 15-minute mark. Vegas has a 2-1 lead. Won a Stanley Cup with Washington along with Philip Grubauer 2018 against these Golden Knights in their first year. Borgen tipped in! Pinball Wizard out in front! It's Matty Beniers cruising through the slot. Beniers is first and 10, has tied it.
Get control and Borgen straight to the net. High tip. Aiden Hill standing up.
So now it's Tanev and Brett Howden, the center ice draw. Adam Larson quickly up the ice. Belmar, Tanev, Yamamoto, Belmar, right in. He scores! Pierre-Edouard Belmar goes right down Lenny Wilkins' way. 14:39 left. 3-2 Seattle.
One-touch play, Yamamoto back over to Belmar. I like China driving right to the front of the net. Doesn't cause the screen, but when you go to the net, you bring other players with you. Looked like Hag was standing right. I don't even know what their games are, but I'm going to try to get the advantage at all times.
Maybe Yahtzee. Now Hannafin off a stick. That's not a bad game.
Never played.
Okay, through center. We will someday. Bjorkstrand, right in. He scores! You can cue the maestro! 8:30 left. 4-2 Kraken. Karlsson gets to it. Dorofeev by him to the corner. Good response by Vegas. Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb. They score! It's William Karlsson with an answer goal set up by Braden McNabb. 7:37 left. 4-3 Seattle.
Ends up passing that right on the tape to Karlsson.
Larson moves across for Seattle. 25 seconds left. Gord moves it back. Oleksiak along the boards. Not out. Eichel traps it, shoots it, blocked. Marchessault scores. He was all alone. 16.3 seconds left. Jonathan Marchessault, his second goal tonight, has tied it. Here come the Kraken. Burakovsky, Larson, Burakovsky. Great stick, Pietrangelo. We go coast to coast. Through center, it's Eichel. He's in alone. He scores. Jack Eichel ends it with 1:59 left in overtime.
It was the high flip sending Eichel in on a breakaway. He goes backhand, forehand, just over the pad, under the...
So the Kraken now fall 9 points behind Vegas in the chase for a wild card spot in the Western Conference. The Kraken welcome the Capitals to town tomorrow night. Gonzaga women's basketball. Ouch. Portland shocking. Number 14 Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference Tournament title game for the second straight year. This time ending the Bulldogs' school record 24-game winning streak. 67-66 the final. Here's how it ended.
Again, Portland mixing up the defense. Bomb. Strong off. Cochran now 3 for 5 from the charities. 5 left to go in regulation. Kalen Trong, ball fake, goes deep and hits. Transfer will square. Stepping back. 3 is huge. How about here? Kalen Trong off the pick. Again, mid-range is right there for Kalen. She's starting to feel it. Great matchup. Expect some kind of a high pick. Egypt now all the way to the rack. Wild shot into the hand. 0.8 away. They inbound, and the game is official now. Portland, you go right ahead. Gonzaga, its first loss since November 26th.
Gonzaga women they only shot 37% from the field, and they were only 5 of 20 on three-pointers. So now they just have to wait until Sunday. That'll be when the women's bracket is revealed. As far as the men are concerned, number 21 St. Mary's led the West Coast Conference Championship game nearly the whole way, and they beat number 17 Gonzaga 69-60. Gonzaga had won 4 conference championships in a row and 10 out of their last 11. St. Mary's was the only team that in the last 11 years that didn't. That won it. That wasn't Gonzaga. Here's how that game went.
Time against Marcialonis getting by. Shot clock winding down. Here's Ben Gregg, the 3. Got it! Watson over to Nembhard. Nembhard's going to go all the way, scoop it up and in. Nembhard tracked it down. Nembhard, that was a tough shot. Rebound.
Ben Gregg defending Mitchell Saxon.
How about Mahaney? Went right by as I've seen him play all year. Watson, a little running hook. Ben Gregg crashes the offensive glass, and Gregg lays it in with a foul. Time winding off that clock. Watson, and he missed that one. Great looks here from Gonzaga. A lot of them.
He said they wanted him.
He was the one. Got them both.
Jackson's length, they got back to playing slow and methodical and deliberate.
Dukas has made 4 in a row here in the Marcialonis, and now it's Mitchell Saxon all alone for the dunk.
On true road games this season.
Yeah. What a season it's been, and it's not over for Alex Dukas and the St. Mary's. 4th time that St. Mary's has taken down the Zags in this championship.
So the Gales get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Of course, before the game, everybody knew that Gonzaga and St. Mary's was going in. We will wait till Sunday for the 68-team field to be unveiled. So the only way the Husky men can punch their ticket to the big dance is to win the Pac-12 conference tournament. They got to win 4 games in 4 days. It gets underway today in Las Vegas. The 8th-seeded Dogs take on the 9th-seeded Trojans. That'll be at noon. On the Pac-12 network, the winner will take on top-seeded Arizona tomorrow. The Cougars play the winner of Cal and Stanford tomorrow night at 6. Games that don't count down in Arizona. The Athletics beat the Mariners 4-2. Mariners have been kind of struggling this spring training, but again, the games don't count. The Mariners will be at Camelback Ranch, which is a beautiful golf course, to take on the Dodgers at 1:05 today. Games that did count in prep soccer in a game that we gave you last night. No score. Wenatchee 0, Quincy 0 on the pitch at Leib Field at the Apple Bowl. Moses Lake and Ephrata, they ended up tied as well, 3-3. Cashmere nipped Okanagan 1-0, and Cascade got by Bridgeport in boys soccer 3-0. Prep baseball yesterday. Moses Lake shut out Pasco 15-0. Liberty Bell all over Chelan 12-1. Okanagan just got by Warden 6-5, and Omak beat Orville 20-11 in a baseball game. And prep girls fast pitch softball, you have a tendency to see football scores in these games, and that's certainly the case here. Quincy beat Tenasket in fast pitch 16-3. West Valley over Ephrata 16-6. And look at the score between Brewster and Cascade in girls fast pitch softball yesterday, 26-5. That's the kind of scores you get in girls high school fast pitch softball. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 28 minutes after the hour. There are 8 different obscure holidays today, so you can celebrate if you want. National Earmuff Day, National Open an Umbrella Inside Day, National Canine Veterans Day, National Jewel Day, National Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day, National No Smoking Day, Smart and Sexy Day. But today is National Good Samaritan Day, which is I'm all for it. We all should partake in National Good Samaritan Day. The strange thing is the holiday is in March, but it is December where we do most of our charitable giving, and most of our volunteer time is in December during the holiday season. Total amount of money given to charities, the last I checked, the most recent statistics, $450 billion a year, roughly. And that's just in the United States. In Finland, all the gambling in Finland is controlled by the government. And you know what they do with the proceeds? They give it to charity. That's pretty cool. I have no problems with that. It's been proven that giving to charity or volunteering your time to a nonprofit is good for you mentally and good for you physically. It's also contagious. And this interesting little stat I found as I was researching, over 60% of all the people who give to charity are women. Why am I not surprised? National Good Samaritan Day today. And at the bottom of the hour, we do Today in History. They knew it was out there, but they finally found it. At the Lowell Observatory, just outside of Flagstaff, Arizona, we have found another planet, Pluto. Pluto was discovered March 13th, 1930, 94 years ago today. Upon the announcement of the discovery, the Lowell Observatory, who gets the honor of naming the planet, because they found it, they found a lot of planets actually, the Lowell Observatory was just flooded with mail and telegrams for suggestions on what to name the new planet. And they eventually narrowed it down to three choices. Pluto was one, Minerva, and Cronus. Minerva was the choice of the staff of the Lowell Observatory, but then they realized they'd already named an asteroid called Minerva, so they couldn't do that. Cronus was rejected because the astronomer who suggested Cronus was a jerk who nobody liked. And so they just Pluto. Okay, Pluto it is. Pluto, by the way, is the Greek-Roman god of the underworld, and as we all know, back in 2006, Pluto was demoted from a planet to a dwarf planet by the people who do these things. Of course, Pluto was not consulted on that. A uniform innovation that now everybody uses came to be on this date 64 years ago today. The Chicago White Sox and their owner, Bill Veeck, announces they're going to do something that nobody has ever done before. They're going to put the names of their players on the backs of their jerseys. Television, that's what Bill Veeck said. Hey, if you're watching the game on television, and this is 1960, so baseball was all over television, the folks who are watching the games at home on TV, they don't have a scorecard. If you're at the stadium, you got a scorecard, you got the name and the number associated with that name. But if you're watching it on TV, you don't necessarily know who the players are, so we're going to put their names on their back of the jerseys. And every sport followed suit. And now every sport, football, hockey, NBA, everybody puts the name of the players on the back of the jersey, with one exception. There's one team in all of major professional sports who has never put the names of their players on the back of their jerseys. Just one. Never done it. The Yankees, of course. And finally, Pope Francis got the gig. The papal conclave, they all got together in Rome. The College of Cardinals, which, by the way, has a great football team. And Francis got the job. He is the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church. Of course, Benedict announced he was going to step aside, the first Pope to resign of his own volition since 1294. Popes don't normally resign. So they got together. The College of Cardinals, the conclave, can elect any baptized Catholic male. As long as you're Catholic, male, and baptized, you can be the Pope. But they have not elected anybody who wasn't actually a cardinal since 1271, so that tradition continued. It took 5 ballots over 3 days before Pope Francis got the gig. His predecessor, Benedict XVI, in 2005, 4 ballots over 2 days. His predecessor, John Paul II, in 1978, 8 ballots over 3 days. His predecessor, John Paul I, also in 1978, 4 ballots over 2 days, so they worked pretty quickly. Not so in 1831, when Pope Gregory XVI got the job. In 1831, it took 51 days and 83 ballots to elect the Pope. Probably after day 40, they're going, can we just go home? Can we pull a name out of the hat? Francis got the job 11 years ago today. One celebrity birthday. Happy birthday to Maria del Rosario Mercedes Pila Martinez Molina Beza. You know her as Charo. What we don't know is how old she is. She's either 83, 77, 75, or 71. Official documents where she was born in Spain, in her hometown, her original Spanish passport when she first came to this country, and Charo's naturalization papers all say that she was born March 13th, 1941, which would make her 83 years old today. After she immigrated to the United States, She said that she was born on March 13th, 1947, which would make her 77 years old today. And then she changed it to March 13th, 1949, when nobody was paying attention. That would make her 75 years old today. And then in a court hearing, she said she was actually born on January 15th, 1951, which means we already passed her birthday, and that's she's 71. In October of 1977, when she finally became a naturalized American citizen, the judge said, okay, 1951, let's just stick with it. Happy birthday, Charo. She's either 83, 77, 75, 71, or 39. I'll get back to you on that. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor here on the NCW Life channel, Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Hey, the heat's coming. You saw the forecast. Get your AC checked by Alpine Air before it breaks down in the heat of July. They can do a little checkup, make sure everything's on the okay. Also, special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services. Again, you saw the forecast, right? Swimming pool wouldn't be too bad. And finally, our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike Mignotti's got an opinion, but don't change the channel, because we also got Austin Andrade coming up. Voice of the Wenatchee Wild, 2 more regular season home games Friday and Saturday. As the push for the playoffs continues, Austin will be my guest when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Attention, attention. It's Collins Fashion's big buy one, get one free sale. That's right. Buy one red check or tag item for half price and receive the next item free. Amazing selection of vests, jackets, sweaters, tops, boots, scarves, etc., etc. And we are receiving wonderful spring merchandise arriving daily. Capris, colorful tops, dresses, special occasion fashions for your upcoming events. We have foundation, shoes, and jewelry, personal service and stylists and savings, all at Collins in downtown Wenatchee.
Yo escogí Pinnacles porque aquí en la escuela es muy tranquilo porque hay pocos estudiantes y muchas oportunidades para ellos. Es una escuela pequeña y tranquila. Me gusta venir a la escuela cada día porque hacen que la escuela sea divertida.
Me escogí la escuela Pinnacles porque es una gran escuela para la comunidad y también una gran experiencia para mi hijo.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Alpine Air. Tickets are on sale now for Music Theater Wenatchee's annual Apple Blossom musical. This year, it's Grease. Performances are May 1st through the 4th and May 8th through the 11th, with matinees on the 5th and the 11th. Grease is directed by Kelly Atwood, produced by Mark Belton, and features Henry Talbot as Danny and Riley Schoening as Sandy. Tickets range from $30 to $39, with senior and student discounts available.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, one of my biggest regrets in life is this. I was at a baseball game once at the Kiwanis Oval in Caldwell, New Jersey, and the opposing team's first baseman was giving the first base umpire really a hard time. He's making fun of him, ridiculing his calls, etc., and I don't know why this ump didn't toss the guy out of the game. He should have, but there were 2 outs, and there was a hit to the shortstop who threw the ball to this jerk of a first baseman. And though the throw beat the runner, the first baseman jerk's heel came off the bag before he caught the ball. Now, I was right at the first base line and I saw this. Now, the umpire called the runner safe, which he was, but the first baseman said something like, forget that. Something like that. And he and his team ran off the field as they thought there were 3 outs. Now, the umpire didn't say anything, and my regret is neither did I. Now, I was just a kid, but come on. There's just some regrets you never forget. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
At Confluence Health,
Our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Kuntz.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Welcome to Gilded Lily Home, where something extraordinary is waiting. You'll be delighted to find an amazing selection of specialty foods and tabletop decor. Browse their uniquely curated collection of gifts. Shop for yourself in their wide collection of jewelry and clothing, and for your home with their amazing hand-selected furniture, lighting, and decor. The Gilded Lily Home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, and your lifestyle.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Mount Stewart Physical Therapy is all new. New staff, new therapists, and a fabulous new chiropractor. That's right, you do not need to drive to Wenatchee or Kashmir for your care. Come see Dr. Zolman, DC. No referral needed for most insurances. Open your auto and work injury claims with us, or fax your post-op and Medicare therapy prescriptions to us right here in town. We offer covered pelvic floor services. We are premium health care for the Upper Valley. Improve your quality of life today. Mount Stewart Integrative Therapy and Chiropractic.
Gee, it's Wednesday and it's Ostendrade. What do those two things mean when you add them up together? Wenatchee Wild Hockey here at the Town Toyota Center. The last two home games of the regular season, and they are big in Spokane on Friday, Portland on Saturday. We are currently in fourth. We'll get to all that good, juicy hockey talk because we're down to just the last 6 games of the regular season to begin with. Ostendrade, broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. And the man, I'm told you won the eBay auction for the old Wild bus. You won it?
We're going road tripping. I don't know where. I don't know how I'm going to afford the gas.
Well, that's right. Boy, you probably, I know what you make. I'm amazed you can drive your own car, quite frankly. Let's recap. Let's go back to last weekend, Friday night down at the Toyota Center, not this arena, the one in Kennewick. Took it to the Tri-City Americans pretty good, 8-1. It wasn't even that close. As we roll highlights of the 8 Wenatchee goals in order, your impressions of Friday night's game. What can we take away from it?
No, Friday night the guys looked good. Got off to a great start. Gave up 1 goal right at the very end of the first period. So Tri-City was able to take a little bit of momentum into the locker room, but it's great to see Briley Wood and Evan Friesen back into the lineup again. Briley looked like he hadn't missed a step. Neither did Evan, but Briley came up with a couple goals, 3 assists, a new career high for him. Guys were up 3-1 at the end of the second period. Kenta hit Briley for a fantastic cross-the-body one-timer over on the left wing to take us into the third period. But the guys got some power play chances in the third period, really connected on them. 4 for 6, I think, was the final line there. So the guys played maybe their most complete game in a while, and give Tri-City a little break. I think they're battling some injuries right now. They were down to 10 forwards and 5 defensemen on Friday night. The goaltender got hurt with 14 minutes left in the game, so had to bring in their backup and try to finish things off on a good note for them. But
they looked tired, especially the third period. They
looked a little tired. They had a tough challenge during the week as well. They and Portland, who we played on Saturday, both played games during the week. So it was a group that looked like the heavy legs were starting to set in a little bit toward the end of the game, and our guys were able to keep going and power through a big win there on Friday night.
You mentioned the 1 goal that the Tri-Cities Americans scored. It was a completely fluke goal. the guy was the puck bounced right in front of him as he was leaving the penalty box to go back to full swing. It bounced right to him. It was a one-on-one thing. Can't remember the last time I've seen that.
Well, and it wasn't just that. It was he took it in, gave a couple nice moves against Brendan. He stopped the first shot.
Yeah, he did.
And after it went off, I think it was his shoulder, Brendan's looking around underneath him, trying to figure out, is he on top of the puck? Did it get through? It was out in front of him. And Parker Bell came by, secondary break for Tri-City, found it and popped it in the back of the net. So
have you seen goals like that? It's just the puck happens to be right at the skater's feet when he gets out of the penalty box and he's got nobody in front of him except the goalie?
It's one of those things that happens every so often. It's one of the reasons that on occasion I'll say if there's a few seconds left in a power play and it gets cleared down to our end of the ice, can we get it past the penalty boxes before time expires? Because at least once we get it past the penalty box, whoever is coming off the penalty bench, or if he skates over and gets a replacement, he's got to get himself back into the play before they can get a fifth guy into the action. So it happens once in a while. It's one of those things that you hope happens for you. You don't like seeing it happen to you, and unfortunately, that's one of those things that did on Friday night.
It didn't affect the outcome of the game. In fact, the Wild responded brilliantly, I might add. That was Friday night. In the Rose City on Saturday, an entirely different story. I mean, Portland's good. Let's get that out of the way right now. But they gave us a pretty good beating.
Portland's got a deep team. They've got a physical and a big team, but they've got a lot of speed to go with that size, which is always a tough combination when you got to go down and play in their building too. But the guys were in the battle until the start of the third period. It was a 3-1 game, and they got another one early to make it 4-1 game and start pulling away from there. But basically a perfect defensive performance from the guys, other than about a 2.5-minute stretch in the first period. And Portland's a team, they get off to great starts, and they usually carry them through the second period. So when you play the Winterhawks, you're going to have to weather an early storm. And other than those 3 goals that the guys gave up, rapid fire there middle of the first period, I thought the guys weathered the storm pretty well.
Speaking of weathering the storm, we're going to have to weather a little bit of a storm regarding our goalie situation before we get into the standings and the push for the playoffs. Briefly touch on that, where we are with the backstops.
So Daniel Hauser has been out of the lineup with injuries for coming up on about a month now. So we've had some affiliate players filling in net. If you saw any of the box scores from when we were up in Alberta, you might have seen Justin Perreault, who's one of our signed players, who's playing his AAA hockey in Winnipeg right now. The last few times we've had an affiliate player up, it's been Noah Stenvik, who's been playing juniors up in BC as an affiliate for us. Right now, all of our affiliate players are with their AAA teams or their junior teams, Junior A, Junior B. So right now, at this past weekend, we only had one goaltender available for us. And what happens in that situation is we'll have a local player come in and basically he gets a jersey. Both the guys had nameplates on their jerseys on Friday and Saturday, but he sits on the bench. He's ready to go in an emergency. He can't come in unless our starting goaltender gets hurt. But he's a local kid who's ready for a shot just in case. One thing about it, a lot of folks were asking about it on our social media. Why do you only have one goaltender listed? And the reason for that is our guys are not NCAA eligible, which means if we list even an emergency backup as a member of our team, it can throw off his college eligibility, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So if he has to come in, we sort that out at the league level that night or after the game, but we cannot list him as a member of our team, even though he's ready to come in and he's in uniform just in case.
It makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So here are we with, again, 6 regular season games left. Some have 5, some have 7. We have 6. The standings are pretty straightforward. Right now it's Prince George, it's Portland, it's Everett. They're 1, 2, and 3, and they have separated, as they have for really the last few weeks, from the rest of the pack. It's a question of who gets first, second, and third. Right now we are in 4th place with 68 points. Right behind us, Kelowna is in 5th place, 66 points. Victoria, 65 points. Vancouver, 62 points. Those are the 4 teams who are battling for that all-important 4th playoff position out of the Western Conference, because that means home ice advantage in the first round.
That means home ice advantage in the first round. That could mean the extra home game for you. if it comes down to a 7th game, and I got a feeling whoever's on that 4 or 5 line probably will this year. But you're battling for that number 4 spot, so you get home ice. You're at least battling for that number 5 spot, if nothing else, so you don't have to take on one of those big 3 in the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to avoid that. And sitting right now is Spokane at 60 points, and we have Spokane coming up on Friday. We'll get to that in a minute. Seattle, Tri-Cities, and Kamloops are pretty much out of it at this point of the season. So is that what it looks like right now? Those 8 teams out of the 11 in the West are going to be the playoff teams?
Those will be your 8 teams.
So once again, a recap, it'll be Prince George, Portland, Everett, Wenatchee, Kelowna, Victoria, Vancouver, and Spokane. It's just a matter of where they fall in line, and we have a chance to help ourselves quite a bit come Friday night, don't we?
We do. Spokane comes in, a group that's got an incredibly talented first line or 2. They're still building that depth back from the last couple of years, but the first couple of lines are just as dangerous as any team in the league. They've got excellent goaltending. Dawson Cowan has been strong against us this season, so we've got to be ready to go on Friday night and take care of our end of the work against a pretty solid Spokane team that has given us every bit of the battle here the last times they played
If we keep the first line out of the back of the net, you like our chances then, because once they have to go deeper into the changeovers is when we have a chance to get
I like our chances if we can weather the storm at the top of their lineup.
And it seems that our line seems to be getting a little deeper. With all of the moves that Bliss had to make back in January, there's a lot of getting to know each other and how they roll, but they seem to have figured that out pretty well.
There has been, and regardless of who's been on that first line this season, whether it's been Connor Geekie and Matt Savoy earlier in the year, now it's been pretty consistently Evan Friesen and Briley Wood. Kenta Isogai's been there the whole season. That first line has carried the weight for us this year, and the second line has done a great job here lately. Rogers Bucharts has settled in real nicely there. Miles Cooper has been arguably our best rookie this season, and Stephen Arp has come up really, really well here this season. I think Hayden Moore has settled pretty well into the center spot on that third line. So from any night, we can expect a lot from our top 2 or 3 lines. And if we get the bottom line or 2 really clicking, this is a dangerous team and a tough one to beat.
It would be fun to beat Spokane on Friday night, just to get a big sigh of relief and just get those vital points that we need as we're down to the very end. And then a very good Portland team on Saturday.
Very good Portland team on Saturday. Our group has had a lot of success in this building. Hopefully that'll continue with the game on Saturday, but no doubt we know what we're going to see, and we've got our work cut out for us.
Absolutely. Friday night is 80s night, including a great look back at the years that I don't remember, 1986 and 1987. It's a long story. 80s night. So what can folks expect promotion-wise and goofy-off-wise on Friday
So
night?
we'll have some contests going for your vintage leather and your big hair and your neon on Friday night. But we're also it's our last Kids in Free night as well. From Weinstein Beverages sponsoring the evening, but they're also providing some free kids tickets for that one. So those went on sale on Monday. You can get those over the phone or through our box office, and then we get to the finale on Saturday night.
Saturday is going to be huge. First of all, people have been asking us, don't they do a bobblehead like every year? Yes, they do. They just happen to save it for the last game of the year at home in the regular season, and that's the Portland game. Saturday night, you got so much stuff going on, I hope you can remember it all.
Ag Supply is taking care of the sponsorship that night. We'll do our bobblehead giveaway that night, as we always do. We'll give away some bigger prizes during the night. I think we've got 10 set aside for that evening, and yeah, it'll be. We'll have hopefully a big crowd on hand to push these guys to a couple of badly needed points here against a very, very good Portland team.
Last I checked, tickets are scarce. They're a little bit more available on Friday. You might absolutely double check on Saturday. I wouldn't expect. Just don't take any chances. Don't just show up at the box office on Saturday and think you can buy some tickets and walk in. At least you might not even be able to sit next to each other.
Earlier the better.
It's that kind of tickets.
Earlier the better
for Saturday. And of course it's raffles, so get ready to raffle off some cool stuff. A lot of stuff is being raffled off. And then we have our last 4 on the road.
Yep, starting on Sunday already. We'll travel over to Spokane and play the Chiefs again on Sunday, but road trip over to Victoria next Wednesday and next Friday. We'll have, I think, an off day in Victoria on Thursday.
Yeah, back-to-back Victoria games, so you get to stay in Victoria.
We get to stay in Victoria
town.
For an extra day. I've already been told what I should do while we're up there, and we hit Everett on the way home on Saturday and take care of the rest of the regular season. We'll see how the rest of the standings shake out around us. We'll try to control what we can control.
And again, if Wenatchee finishes 4th, which is where we're at now, and that's as good as we're going to get, we've mentioned this before, nobody's going to catch up with Prince George, Portland, or Everett. That's not going to happen. We finish 4th. We have home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs, and then they reseed everything. All the playoff rounds are best of 7. We need to stress that as well. And finally, we want to close it out with the Austin-Andrade Chico's Bail Bonds Wenatchee Wild Player of the Week, the highest honor any Wenatchee Wild player can get, well, from Austin anyway, and it is.
Let's give it to Brendan G. I know he had a rough night on Saturday night, but came up with a big one on Friday night for us. We'll give the honorable mention to Briley Wood for a great game on Friday night and a huge return from the injury bug. So we'll give that award out as we get ready to give out some awards on the ice at our awards banquet. We taped this on Monday, so that's already happened. They've switched us back to ice by then, but we gave away some awards on Monday, and we're looking forward to our folks finding out who those are.
Help this team through the playoff push by getting your tickets. Again, don't just assume you can show up Friday, perhaps Saturday. Either call ahead or just don't show up and think you can just buy tickets and walk into the joint. You might not be able to. Who knows? I'm going to be here on Saturday night.
Should be fun.
So you want me to sing the national anthem?
I don't get to decide that.
Oh, you don't? Who gets to decide that? Who can I talk to?
Head to our front office.
Okay. I don't know the words, though.
Well,
I'll need cue cards.
That might be a problem.
Oh, Canada. Austin Andrade, good to see you, my friend. I'll drop by and see you at the Crow's Nest Saturday night, if you don't mind an interloper popping in your office, if you don't mind. All right. Austin Andrade, and we will be right back.
Crown Furniture knows the most important part of a healthy and productive lifestyle is good quality sleep. The Englander Mattress Company is dedicated to manufacturing the best mattresses made in the USA. Englander chooses the finest materials made in the USA with a drive, dedication, and attention to detail, earning them a 99% satisfaction rating. Stop by Crown Furniture today on South Wenatchee Avenue and save up to 35% on select Englander mattresses.
Oh, look at this.
This would look really good in the kitchen.
Or the living room. Just look at it.
New windows are a work of art. Upgrade your home's windows and get cash back from Chelan County PUD.
This is gonna look great in the house.
Abby says thank you to all the hometown heroes making our community so great. If you know a deserving hometown hero, shoot us an email, hero@abbys.com. Every week, we'll thank some of these heroes with a free giant pizza. Abby's, proud to serve your community. Be a hero tonight. Treat your family and friends to Abby's famous hometown hero pizza. This giant features our classic pepperoni, tasty Italian sausage, and crisp green peppers for a one-of-a-kind legendary flavor. Visit abbys.com for a special pizza at a very special price.
Imagine a science project being done on the kitchen table. Feel the excitement on Christmas morning as the kids race down the stairs to form memories that cannot be erased. Listen for the laughter coming from the next room. Put your family in a new home to make these visions become reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade. Use the Move Meter entering 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on the cost of living and other factors. Make your dream place a reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade today.
Lots of sunshine, 39 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. And we have a forecast. Thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this. Sunshine today. I think we're going to get past 52. I really do. It's just my trick knee is telling me it might be a little bit warmer than that. Certainly it's going to feel warmer than that because we haven't had temperatures like this since what? maybe October. 33 for the overnight low. This is a monster ridge of high pressure that by the time we get together tomorrow on Thursday, it will be here. So look at the dramatic jump in temperatures. We're going to go well above normal. From 55 on Thursday to 61 on Friday afternoon to 67 on Saturday, 71 on Sunday for St. Patrick's Day. 72 on Monday. Tuesday is the vernal equinox, the first day of spring, and spring will be busting out all over. I need to get my golf clubs out of storage. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.